Alright, so in this lesson we're going to go over solving inequalities by multiplying or dividing with negative numbers. So this is just as if we were solving the equation with one twist, and I'll get to that when we get there with this inequality. So this states I have negative 3z is less than 18. So I'm going to solve it by dividing by negative 3 on both sides. Now, most people would think that it would just be z is less than negative 6. However, that's not the case. If I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative, I'm actually going to flip my sign. And that's only if I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative. So, I see I have z is now greater than negative 6. So I'm going to put, nope, we want an open circle. My apologies about that. Now, what we want is to test my numbers. So let's see, is negative 8 greater than negative 6? No. Is negative 4 greater than negative 6? Yes. Let's test one more. If I have 6, is that greater than negative 6? Yes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. And that's how we do that. Let's do another one. So looking at this inequality, I have negative 2r is greater than or equal to negative 12. So I'm going to start by just solving the inequality. So I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. And I'm going to get r. What you need to remember is when I'm dividing or multiplying by the negative, I'm flipping that sign. So, and I'm not going to get rid of the equal to. So I'm going to just flip it. So it's going to say r is less than or equal to 6. So then I'm going to go ahead and look at solving this and figuring out how to graph it. So I'm going to plug in some numbers. 8 is less than or equal to 6. Is that a true statement? No, that doesn't work. Let me try 4 is less than or equal to 6. Does that work out? Yes. Let's do one more. What about 6 is less than or equal to 6? This works out because I do have that less than, that equal to line underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing that circle. I'm going to fill it in because it is less than or equal to. Then I'm going to draw my line. Let's take a look at one or two more. So let's look at this example. I have x over negative 3 is greater than 2. So treating it like an equation, first I'm going to multiply by negative 3 on both sides. That'll get my negative 3's to cancel on the side of my variable. Now, since I'm multiplying by a negative, same rule applies. I have to flip my sign, so it's going to be less than negative 6, because that's 2 times negative 3. So, good test on my numbers. Let's do 4 is less than negative 6. Is that true? No. Okay. Let's try negative 4. You know, 2 negatives. No. Remember, close to 0 is bigger than further from 0 on the side with my negatives. Alright, let's try negative 8 is less than negative 6. That works out. I have an idea about where I'm going. And then how about negative 12 is less than negative 6? Yes, that is correct. All right, so I know where my line is going. I'm going to use an open circle because it is just less than. And put my arrow to graph it. Let's take a look at one more. All right, well, let's take a look at one last inequality. I have x over negative 8 is less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to do my inverse operation. I'm going to multiply by negative 8 on both sides. My negative 8s will cancel on the side of my variable, and I have x is greater than or equal to now. So I'm multiplying by that negative 8. So now I want to test some numbers. Okay, does negative 10 work? No, negative 10 is smaller than negative 8. Okay, well, what about negative 4? Yes, that works. Let's test one more. How about 2 is greater than or equal to negative 8? Yes, that also works. I have my arrow going. So this has been multiplying and dividing with negatives using inequalities. The only difference from equations is I have to flip that sign. All right, I want to flip that sign, solve my inequality first, then I want to graph. All right, that's been today's lesson. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your teacher.